it is very clear, Mr. Chair, that somebody is not telling the truth in this interpellation. Siya po ang nagdirektor nitong insidente nito. Siya po ang nakakaalam among your peers that you are very close to President Duterte. Is that true?
That is their perception, Mr. Chair.
We know very well that the position of PCSO is a presidential appointee, and we know very well in the government that if you are not close to that powers pabi, you will never be appointed. So yung perception po na malapit po kayo, totoo po yun. Hindi totoo yun, hindi haka-haka. Because kung hindi po kayo malapit kay former president, you will never be appointed as PCSO.
Possible, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, doon na nga tayo pinatatunguhan. Very important itong meeting na nangyari ng July 2016 wherein Colonel Garma and Colonel Leonardo and Colonel Padilla were present. Dahil dito na po nagawa ang plano estratehia para patayin po yung tatlong Chinese prisoners. And that is why somebody is lying here, Mr. Chair. Ulitin ko po, Colonel Leonardo. Ito, binasa na po ni Colonel Padilla yung sinumpaang salaysay niya na nagkita po talaga kayo doon sa opisina. Pinatunayan po ni Colonel Garma, although iba ang version niya, pero the fact remains na pinatunayan niya na nagkita kayong tatlo doon sa opisina mo. Commissioner Leonardo, tanungin ko po kayo, totoo po ba na nagkita-kita kayo doon?
Mr. Chair, gaya po na sinabi ko, hindi ko po matandaan na nagkita-kita kaming tatlo doon po. Pero si Colonel Garma, may mga instances na natanda ko nagkita po kami, Mr. Chair.
So, are you denying that Colonel Padilla was never in your office?
Mr. Chair, hindi ko nga po siya kilala, Mr. Chair.
Sige.
Totoo lang po.
Punta muna tayo dito sa pagbisita ni Colonel Garma. Sinabi po ninyo kanina, Colonel Garma, based on your statement, Mr. Chair, na bumisita po kayo kay Jimmy Fortaleza, nakaklase po ninyo sa PNPA. Dapat po 5 kayo ang bibisita, pero ang nangyari, 3 na lang po kayo. Hindi po ba? Si Colonel Villela, kayo, at saka si Colonel Grijaldo ba yun?
Yes, Mr.
Oh.
Yes, Your Honor.
That was sometime in July 2016, hindi po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, nung binisita po ninyo si Jimmy Fortaleza, ano ho bang pinapag-usapan ninyo?
Kahit ano lang po, Mr. Chair. Naalala namin yung cadetship namin, mga kung ano-ano lang po. Random.
After meeting with Jimmy Fortaleza in July 2016, nagkita po ba kayo uli?
No, Your Honor.
Tinawagan mo ba siya?
No, Your Honor.
Babasahin ko lang po yung sinumpaang salaysay ni Jimmy Fortaleza. Nung bumisita si Colonel Garma, ito po ay very clear na bumisita kayo, hindi po ba inaamin ho nyo yun?
Yes,
Ang kasama
Your Honor.
nyo si Colonel Villela and Grijaldo. Ito, sa number 4, nung bumisita po kayo, tinanong nyo nasaan na yung tatlong Chinese na inakasuhan ng illegal drugs. Hindi po ba?
No, Your Honor.
Jimmy, dito ka naman, Mr. Chair, nandito si Jimmy. Sinumpaang salaysay mo to. Pwede kang kasuhan ng perjury nito. Sinasabi mo rito, nung bumisita si Colonel Garma, ay tinanong ka, merong operasyon dito at nasaan itong mga Chinese prisoners. Hindi po ba?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
At sinabihan ka rin niya na meron silang operation, hindi po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then sometime nung August 8, 2016, Mr. Chair, or prior to August 8, 2016, Mr. Chair, tinawagan ka ni Colonel Garma at kinausap ka at inutusan ka na sabihin, kakausapin niya si Colonel Padilla. Hindi po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
At pagkatapos ng tawag na yon, pumunta ka kay Colonel Padilla at binigay mo yung cellphone, tapos nag-usap po sila. Nandun ka nung nag-usap sila sa telepono ni Colonel Garma. Hindi po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ngayon, ano ba ang pinag-usapan ninyo, Colonel Garma, nung tumawag ka kay Colonel Padilla?
Hindi po ako tumawag sa kanya, Mr. Chair. Your Honor.
Colonel Padilla, sinumpaang salaysay ho ninyo ito. Dalawang affidavit po na sinabit ninyo na dito sa paragraph 5. Tumawag po sa inyo si Colonel Garma at ito po ang sinabi ni Colonel Garma. May mga tao kami dyan na gagawa at huwag mo na questionin, and whether you like it or not, we will operate and do not interfere. Baka madamay pa pamilya mo. In short, you were already giving instructions to Colonel Padilla na merong ang operasyon yon. What we mean by operation, tinanong ko na si Colonel Padilla niya nung huling hearing, ay papatayin niya yung tatlong Chinese prisoner. Ngayon, after nung nag-usap na kayo ni Colonel Padilla at ni Colonel Garma, doon na pinatawag ni Colonel Leonardo si Colonel Padilla at doon na kayo nagkita doon sa CIDG station na kung saan sinabi din ni Commissioner Leonardo, Colonel Padilla, huwag ka nang makialam, meron kaming operation dyan. Hindi po ba?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, sa insidenteng ito po, it has all the footprints, fingerprints, quote-unquote, so to say, of Colonel Garma. Actually, Colonel Garma, lahat ng utos, even to SPO4 Art Narsoles, nanggaling ho sa inyo. After ng meeting ho ninyo ni Colonel Padilla, ni Commissioner Leonardo, doon na nyo inutusan si Art Narsoles, who is very close to you, para puntahan si Leopoldo Tan at inutusan na patayin na yung tatlong Chinese. Hindi po ba?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, there are 1, 2, 3 statements from resource persons which is under oath against the statement of Colonel Garma which is not even under oath. Sino po ba ang papaniluhaan natin? Yung nagbigay ng sinumpaang salaysay o yung isang tao who has always been denying of her involvement in this incident? It is very clear, Mr. Chair, that somebody is not telling the truth in this interpellation. And I believe that Colonel Garma, siya po ang nagdirektor nitong incident nito, siya po ang nakakaalam. He had contacts with Jimmy Fortaleza, he had contacts with Colonel Padilla. Ito po mga sinumpaang salaysay. So I believe, Mr. Chair, that Colonel Garma is lying to her teeth. Yun lang naman po ang gusto naming malaman. Ito pa, Mr. Chair. Na-establish na po natin sino po nagsisinungaling dito. it is perceived not only in Davao City but in the ranks of policemen among your peers that you are very close to President Duterte. Is that true?
That is their perception, Mr. Chair.
Pero that perception is believable, Colonel Garba and Mr. Chair. Why? Yung pag-appoint ho sa inyo ng PCSO, hindi ho ordinaryong trabaho yan that you just go for a job interview, you just apply for a position. We know very well that the position of PCSO is a presidential appointee, and we know very well in the government that if you are not close to that powers pabi, you will never be appointed. Kahit po wala ho tayong application form, kahit po walang a job interview, pag malapit ka po sa appointing authority, you will be appointed. So yung perception po na malapit po kayo, totoo po yun. Hindi totoo yun, hindi haka-haka. Because kung hindi po kayo malapit kay former President, you will never be appointed as PCSO. Hindi po ba?
Possible, Mr. Chair.
Do you think, Colonel Garma, kung hindi kayo malapit kay Duterte, ma-appoint ho kayo as PCSO? Hindi po mangyayari yung Colonel Garma. Alam ho natin, even up to the Assistant Secretary level, to the USEC level, you must be very close to the powers that be. And in that case, you were appointed because of your close relationship with the former President.
Congressman Pimentel, if I may interject, kay Colonel Garma, yung bang pagkakataon na, di ba, sinabi mo na in-applyan mo yung position
Yes, Mr. Chair.
na as General Manager ng
Yes,
PCSO.
yes, Mr. Chair.
During that time, was the position of General Manager vacant when you applied for the position?
Ano po, parang there are news articles na
So in other words,
Tatanggalin.
hindi ho siya vacant.
natatanggalin na, magre-resign na.
So merong news article na tatanggalin siya.
Yes, during those time
Who was
po.
the General Manager at that
I
time?
think it's General Balutan, Mr. Chair. I'm not sure kung natanggal na o there's an article that he will be removed.
General Balutan.
Yeah, yes,
And
Mr. Chair.
when you applied, submitted your resume and your application kay Senator Bongo, hindi pa siya bakante.
I cannot recall anymore kung
Anong-
napakante na, Mr. Chair. I'm not really sure of the date, but I'm very sure I submitted my application. That was November, first week of November 2018, Mr. Chair.
2018.
Yes.
But that time, have you already resigned from
Not
PNP?
yet. No, Mr. Chair.
So nag-apply ka as General Manager ng PCSO na wala pang vacancy yung GM position at nasa active service ka pa.
I'm not sure if it is vacant, Mr. Chair, or there's an article it's going to be vacant. So
So
I'm
that's-
sure alam ko po na parang matatanggal na o natanggal because under investigation na po. And
Yung kay General Balutan
yung
time.
position,
Okay.
yes, Mr. Chair.
So sa madaling sabi, Colonel Garma, during the time, because you're not sure yet whether kasi meron ng, I think, investigation nga, tama, no? Kay
Yes, Mr. Chair.
General Balutan that time, in-applyan mo na, anticipating na matatanggal si General Balutan.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, is that a correct assumption?
Yes,
Pangalawa,
yes, Mr. Chair.
you're not yet sure kung tatanggapin yung application mo as the PCSO General Manager that time
Yes.
kasi ongoing investigation and you were still in active service.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, sige. Thank you, Colonel Garma.
Mr.
Congressman,
Chairman.
Pimentel.
Mr. Chairman,
With the indulgence of Congressman Pimentel. Yes, Congressman.
if I may be allowed, just to interject. Colonel Garma, may nakikita lang kasi akong mga inconsistencies doon sa testimonies mo. Dati po kasi akong gobernador at nagtrabaho sa lokal na pamahalaan.
Yes.
At alam naman po natin na hindi po na ipepwesto ang mga pulis kung unang-una, hindi po muna to is sinasang-ayunan ng mga chief executives. Nabanggit po kanina na sa maraming palipat-lipat po ninyo ng iba't ibang mga pwesto, dahil daw po ito lamang sa due to merit. This is a fact that you stated.
Yes, Your Honor.
However, the places that you went to are plum areas. From Davao City, you were transferred to Cebu City. Those are plum cities to be placed under your direct supervision. And without intervention or influence from those that decide, those are very difficult positions to attain, Colonel Garma. So are you still suggesting to this committee that it is only because of merit? That's why you gained those appointments and not through personal relationships?
Mr. Chair, I never asked for positions. Hindi po ako lumalapit kahit kanino
Okay. Okay lang po.
Pagkuha ng
Okay lang
position,
po, okay
Mr.
lang po.
Chair.
Kasi sa akin kanina, nabanggit nyo, Colonel Garma, ang pinakamahalaga sa inyo ay yung kapakanan ng anak ninyo.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Kaya po kayo nag-resign.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Kung pinahalagahan nyo po yung kapakanan ng anak ninyo, bakit po ilalagay nyo sa alanganin na sitwasyon ang buhay ng anak ninyo na wala po kayong trabaho? Kasi kung magre-resign po kayo, wala po kayong pagkakakitaan. Kung magre-resign po kayo, paano po yung pangsuporta ninyo sa anak ninyo?
Mr. Chair, that is why I applied November of 2018 when the President announced that I will replace General Manager Balutan sometime March of 2019.
So therefore, yeah, I know
That was the
that's what
sign.
I'm driving at,
Yes,
Colonel
Mr.
Garma. Yun po yung point ko.
Opo.
Kasi kung talagang totoo kayo sa posisyon na pinangangalagaan nyo yung anak ninyo, hindi nyo siya ilalagay sa alanganin.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
At tiwala kayo na pag nag-resign kayo, which was a gamble, given that you had 10 more years of active service, which was a gamble, you were sure in your heart that you will not put the welfare of your daughter in any harm. Therefore, you applied for the position of PCSO. A position so plumb and so sweet that only the handpicked chosen one of the president will be given. So, Colonel Garma, I want to ask you again, how do you explain or characterize your relationship with the former president?
It is very professional, Mr. Chair.
Very professional.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So meaning, in many times and many occasions, nag-uusap kayo.
May I be clarified kung anong pag-uusap yun, Mr.
Nag-uusap.
Chair? Only when necessary, job-related, Mr. Chair.
That's it. That's all my point, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to put that in the records kasi lang medyo inconsistent ng yung mga nasabi po ninyo, Colonel Garma. Maraming salamat.
Mr. Chair, can I proceed? Malapit na ako matapos. There are two more points that I would like to drive at and emphasize. First point is that there was indeed a close contact or several contacts between Colonel Garma and Jimmy Fortaleza. Ang una pong pag-uusap nila noong July 2018, nung bumisita po si Colonel Garma kay Jimmy Fortaleza kasama si Colonel Villela and Colonel Grijaldo. Ito po ay inamin po ni Colonel Garma kanina po, 2 beses niyo po inamin na it's true that nakipagkita siya kay Jimmy Fortaleza. At doon sa pagkikita po, sinabihan niya si Jimmy Fortaleza na magkakaroon po ng operation sa Davao Penal Colony. Yung pangalawang contact po nila, nangyari po nung tinawagan niya si Jimmy Fortaleza po at nakiusap siya na dalhin yung cellphone para makausap ni Colonel Garma si Colonel Padilla. At doon sinabihan din si Colonel Padilla, ni Colonel Garma, na may operation doon at huwag sila makialam. Pangalawang beses po yon. Ang pangatlong beses po, tumawag po uli si Colonel Garma noong August 8, 2016 kay Jimmy Fortaleza. And then sinabihan niya si Jimmy Fortaleza, this could be probably after the meeting in CIDG station, after the plan was hatched. Sinabihan niya, Bok, ako na bahala. May mga tao na kami dyan. Probably, I assume that this was after na nakontak na si Leopoldo Tan and si Magda Daro na patay na nga yung Chinese prisoners. So, there were already 3 occasions wherein Colonel Garma had a contact with Jimmy Fortaleza and personally talking to Jimmy Fortaleza, whether on the phone o dun sa Dapicol. Ang pang-apat po, nung August 11 na. Nung pinasok na po yung 3 bilanggo na Chinese na para patayin, tumawag din po ulit si Colonel Garma kay Jimmy Fortaleza at sinabayhan, huwag mong pabayaan yung 3 bilanggo, bigyan mo, alagaan mo, bigyan mo ng pagkain. So it's very clear, Mr. Chair, that it was Colonel Garma who was directing everything to kill these 3 Chinese nationals. Ngayon, I'd also like to establish a point wherein doon sa affidavit ni Joby Espinido that during the war against drugs, there indeed was a reward system. Kung makapatay ang pulis ng mga drug lord or whatever na involved sa kaso ng droga, there was a reward system wherein binibigyan ang pulis na nakapatay ng 20,000. Now accordingly, nanggaling sa STL yung pondo na ibayad doon sa mga reward sa mga pulis. Colonel Garma, totoo po ba na nanggaling ang pera para sa reward system? Nanggaling po ba sa STL?
No, Your
Nung kayo po ay
Honor.
nakaposisyon?
No, Your Honor.
Pero inaamin ho ninyo na noong November 2021 and during your stint as STL ahead, nagbibigay po kayo ng pondo sa PNP, hindi po ba? It's on record. You gave 22 million pesos to PNP na ang pera galing sa STL.
That is charged to charity fund. There is a board resolution and the STL IRR provides for it that we provide a portion of the charity fund to the Philippine National Police and NBI for medical programs, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, prior to your stint, Colonel Garma, yung STL operations po, sinuspend ho yun. But in 2019, nung umupo kayo, nilift ho ninyo yung suspension, hindi po ba?
No, Mr. Chair.
Well, on records, nakalagay po dito, kayo ho nag-lift ng suspension ng STL operations.
Yeah, it was lifted. No, it was suspended during my time, Your Honor, and it was lifted during my time, Your Honor.
Bakit ho ninyo suspend?
It was suspended because during the time when I assumed as the General Manager of PCSO, almost 1/2 of STL agents po ay may utang sa PCSO. More than 5 billion.
Pero kayo din po ang nag-lift, hindi po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair, after the implementing rules and regulations was approved by the Office of the President, Mr.
Sa
Chair.
tingin niyo, Madam Garma, hindi ba kaya yung binibigyan yung pera sa PNP, sa NBI, nagamit as a reward dun sa mga nakapatay ng mga drug lord?
Hindi po pwede yun, Mr. Chair.
Kasi po, kayo na po nagsabi sa isang interview noon na ang income na generated sa STL and Lotto ay nagbibigay po kayo ng portion sa NBI and PNP bilang reward sa mga efforts nila na labanan ang underground illegal gambling and illegal drugs. Hindi po ba?
No, Mr. Chair. It's not a reward, Mr. Chair. It's to fund their medical programs and it's very clear in the charter, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, I have no further question.
Thank you, Congressman Pimentel. The next to interpolate is Congressman Raul Manuel. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang balikan ang nabanggit kanina kasi kinonfirm ni Superintendent Padilla na bagamat ngayon ay hindi niya naaalala na ito pong karo niya na si Colonel Garma yung na-meet niya, pero nung pinakitaan ng picture na kung ano po yung appearance dati, na-confirm po niya na yun yung na-meet niya. Pero on the part of Colonel Garma, ay sinasabi niya hindi niya maalala kung ano yung setting or na exactly ay yun yung kiniklaim ni Superintendent Padilla. May binabanggit po parang sa thesis or ganun yung dahilan. So ngayon po gusto nating i-confirm po talaga kay Colonel Garma kasi hindi po pwede na yung isang event ay merong dalawang magkaibang interpretasyon na Mr. Chair. Ngayon po gusto nating malaman ulit dahil nga kinonfirm na ni Superintendent Padilla na si Colonel Garma nga yung na-meet niya noong August 2016. So, kino-confirm po ba ngayon ni Colonel Garma na nandun nga sa meeting na iyon si Superintendent Padilla?
Mr. Chair, I cannot confirm it if your question covers your introduction before you ask the question, Mr. Chair, because that hindi po yan ang nangyari, Mr. Chair.
So, ibig sabihin hindi po ninyo kino-confirm yung sinasabi ni Superintendent Padilla? Kasi po ngayon sinasabi na po niya na kayo nga po yung na-meet niya.
Hindi po lahat ng sinabi niya ayun po ang nangyari, Mr. Chair. So I cannot confirm yung sinabi niya, Mr. Chair, or Your Honor.
So you stand by your original statement na ang pagkikita po ninyo ay hindi sa context ng sinabi niya sa kanyang second supplemental affidavit?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I will not belabor that, Mr. Chair. Kasunod doon sa pagiging general manager ng PCSO ni Colonel Garma, kasi as mentioned, matagal po siya sa Philippine National Police. And nalipat siya doon sa PCSO. Ano po ba yung mga qualifications o skill set ni Colonel Garma na na-earn niya? Kasi hindi po biro yung ganun kahabang serbisyo sa PNP. Meron kang mga mahahasang skills dyan at kung ano man yung networks or connections. Alin po doon yung naging kapaki-pakinabang para magsilbi si Colonel Garma sa PCSO?
Mr. Chair, I have served the government service for 24 years po sa PNP. I was able to handle different kinds of people, iba-ibang klaseng pulis. At ang pinakamalaki pong nahawakan ko po ay sumaabos po na mahigit 1,000, 1,300 when I was with Cebu City Police Office. I have various training, leadership trainings. I have my master's. I finished my PhD. My foundation is AB Mathematics, Mr. Chair. And I think I also have the qualities. I work really hard. I study when I work, Mr. Chair. And my position as anti-vice gave me also an idea of how illegal gambling works on the ground. So that if I will be given the position as PCSO manager, I know how to handle these illegal activities so that our product, the lottery product, will lumakas sa ground. Yun po ang nakita ko na sabi ko, kaya ko. And aside from that, dalawa lang po ang trabaho ng PCSO, kako nga po, lottery and charity. And I have this passion on charity. When I was with the PNP, marami po ako community relation activity at nakaka-relate po ako sa mga activities. Yun po yung nakita ko na sabi ko, kaya ko yung trabaho, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
We take note of that, Mr. Chair, pero no offense po dun sa ating resource persons. Yung nabanggit po kasi na very specific yung tanong ko, Mr. Chair. Which skills na na-acquire from being of service sa PNP yung applicable talaga at naging valuable para eventually ay ma-appoint sa PCSO ang ating resource person. Pero generic yung mga nabanggit na sagot, Mr. Chair. In fact, yung mga descriptions like yung leadership, yung ganitong mga nakuhang titulo, marami din po tayong mga kababayan, Mr. Chair, na actually can be qualified kung ganun lang yung minimum na binabanggit ng ating resource person. In fact, ang dating pa ay parang minamaliit yung magiging role din dapat ng isang PCSO General Manager na dapat ay tiyakin na malinis at maayos yung pag-manage ng lottery sa bansa. Given din naman na recently may mga issues din doon sa ating lottery, Mr. Chair. Kasunod, ano po ulit yung batas na dapat ay tinitiyak ng PCSO General Manager na napapatupad?
That's the PD 1602, Mr. Chair.
Ano po yung other
That's
name
that's
nung batas?
Anti-illegal gambling law.
Sa perspective po ba ni Colonel Garma, Mr. Chair, noong past administration ay napapatupad ito across agencies, itong anti-illegal gambling law?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Your Honor.
Kung ganun po ang opinion ng resource person, Mr. Chair, I think from the series of hearings that we've had so far, kung pagbabatayan po natin kung paano nag-proliferate yung mga pogo at paano ito naging actually paraan para sa illegal gambling at marami pang mga katakot-takot na mga nangyari sa bansa, Mr. Chair, hindi natin mapagkakatiwalaan yung ganong pamantayan ng ating resource person. In fact, kung nag-proliferate yung pogo, actually this raises more questions, Mr. Chair, kung paano din ba talaga pinagana yung PCSO sa leadership ni Colonel Garma at paano ito pwedeng naging konektado din sa ibang mga illegal activities as brought forth by the questions of Congressman Pimentel. Mr. Chair, nabanggit din na peaceful and one of the most livable ang Davao City. Tapos, in terms of the knowledge of our resource person, kasi nabanggit din dati ni former Senator Leila de Lima na bago naging nationwide ang Oplan Tokhang, meron ng Davao Death Squad na nag-exist para gawing peaceful yung Davao City, Mr. Chair. Ano po ang pagkakaalam ni Colonel Garma sa existence ng Davao Death Squad at sa mga operations nito sa Davao City?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Can you qualify po? Wala kayong nalalaman or walang existence yung Davao Death Squad?
Wala po kong alam, wala po akong nakita. I'm explaining my answer based on my personal knowledge, Your Honor.
So despite po yung evidence, yung maraming ebidensya ng mga ginawa ng Davao Death Squad at matagal din po na na-assign sa Davao City si Colonel Garma, tingin po niya ay hindi totoo na may Davao Death Squad. Ganun po ba?
Mr. Chair, I do not know what evidence you're referring to. I am just speaking on what I know personally, what I saw, what I hear, what I felt. My 5 senses lang po ang ginagamit ko dito. Wala po akong nakita, wala po akong... I'm telling you kung ano lang po yung alam ko personally, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, hindi po pwedeng takasan lang sa pag-claim ng personal experience yung ating mga tanong, lalo na nag-occupy po ng mataas na posisyon sa ranks ng pulisya si Colonel Garma. In fact, kung ano yung mga hindi niya na-observe, ano yung hindi niya mga nagawa, kung ano yung mga inostisya na napalampas dun sa Davao City, that can actually point to, at the minimum, Mr. Chair, neglect dun sa trabaho, or maximum, ay pagkonsente o pag-implement mismo nung inostisya para mag-create ng semblance ng peace and order sa mga lugar kung saan siya na-assign. Mr. Chair, as punta naman tayo dun sa stint niya sa Cebu bilang police director, dahil nga doon talaga nagmula yung, or yun yung kung paano pinatupad yung war on drugs, no, yung police operations na actually ay katakot-takot, Mr. Chair. Ganon din ba yung estilo na dinala ni Colonel Garma nung siya ay na-assign na sa Cebu? Paano pinatupad yung war on drugs nung doon na po kayo na-assign?
Mr. Chair, during my stint as the City Director of Cebu City Police Office, I intensified police patrol and community relations, Mr. Chair. Although there are also police operations that we conducted, but I was more focused on crime prevention, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, kasi kung pinatupad ang war on drugs based dun sa Memorandum 16 na pinirmahan ng unang police chief under the Duterte administration, kasama nga po doon yung sinasabing pag-neutralize ng mga pinaghihinalaang involved dun sa illegal drug trade. At meron pong nag-testify si Colonel Espinido sa nakaraang hearings na bahagi talaga ng pag-neutralize ay yung pagpatay dun sa mga nililabel na mga drug pushers. So, sa stint nyo as Cebu City Police Office Director, ilan yung tala ng mga napatay na mga drug suspects sa ilalim ng inyong pamumuno?
Mr. Chair, may I be clarified on your definition ng napatay?
Mr. Chair, ito yung mga supposedly the police has a record dun sa kung ilan yung mga kinakount nila, no, as accomplishments, no, dun sa war on drugs. So, yun yung ating tinutukoy, and supposedly ay alam yun ng former Cebu City Police Office Director.
Mr. Chair, kung namatay po yan at pinatay, I don't consider it a police accomplishment. A police accomplishment is something that you can bring the suspect in para sa hustisya. Pero kung namatay lang dyan, we investigated, it's murder. It's not even considered an accomplishment. It's murder, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, it seems na evasive po yung mga sagot ng ating resource person. Consistent po dun sa paano tinatrato ng dating administrasyon yung mga ganitong pagpatay. Hindi lang doon mismo sa loob ng ating mga penal farms, ganyan, pero maging doon sa labas mismo, no? Doon sa ating mga ordinaryong kababayan. So, Mr. Chair, at this point, no, I would end my interpellation and reserve other questions sa iba pa nating mga resource persons. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Manuel.